Alright, what's up everyone? So today we're gonna take a look at Bitcoin. I'm gonna take a look at the setup that I posted in official calls, and I'm gonna take a look at a couple of altcoins for you guys. So first of all, I want to take a look at Bitcoin, like I said. Let's see if we can get some more people in here. So I'm just gonna wait a couple of minutes. We got 6 people now, I guess. Because people are at work and everything, so I don't think we'll see too many people. All right. So obviously I'm gonna upload a replay. So if you can't catch it live, I'm just gonna upload a replay for you guys. So anyway, so let's take a look at that's weird. It's dropped from 6 people to 0 people. I don't know what's wrong. Let's see. All right. So if you guys can hear me, and like if the audio quality is good and everything's good, just can write in the chat if there's any problems. Alright, so first of all, let's take a look at this setup I had on BTC USD. So let's first take a look at it on Bitstamp, where we have all the major moving averages and everything. So like what I first want to show you was on the daily here, we had this yellow line, the 21 EMA, and so what I was looking for was, first I wanted to see a bounce of the 21 EMA, and by a bounce I mean basically like no daily candle close below the 21 EMA, and then bullish market structure on the 4 hour. And basically what I was looking for was a repeat of this, you know, it kind of looks like Bitcoin is, taking the stairs upwards. It kind of looks like every dip is another step on the stairs to heaven or whatever. Let me show you what I mean here. We have a small dip here, another step here, another step here, and another step here, and hopefully like you're just gonna stair step its way up to higher price, right? And I always like to look at the chart like one level at a time, right? So the levels I've been watching here is this green buy zone here, where the 21 EMA wasn't right in the middle here when we started trading downwards. So what I was looking for was a bounce of the 21 EMA, but I didn't really want to buy right on the bounce. I wanted to see bullish market structure first on the lower time frames, like the 4 hour. So let's look at the 4 hour here. What I mean by a bullish market structure is, like, I wanted to see a bullish break in market structure. Basically what we had here was lower highs. Well, let's zoom in a little bit more to make it more clear. So here's the high, right? And here's another high, and we started making, we had low, lower low, lower low, and here we have a higher low, and we now started to make a higher high. Sorry. Man, my English is pretty stupid sometimes. So that's pretty much what I was looking for, right? A bullish break in market structure. We had a 4 hour downtrend here. We broke that downtrend. Like the first sign of breaking this downtrend was closing the 4 hour above this area, the 21 EMA on a daily, and also this minor support and resistance area right here. So that's the first sign of a break in market structure. We then had this zone up here, where I wanted to see a 4 hour close above, and what I really want to see is like a 4 hour open and close like we got here. And I was then looking to buy an SR flip basically here. If we go over to BTC USDT on Binance, where I actually had the setup, you can see like in the official calls channel, I wrote that the setup would be invalidated if we had a 4-hour close above 10,150, but I have to change that because we have this very nice solid SR level here acting as resistance. So as long as we don't have a 4-hour close or an open and close above this area, I think this play is still in motion. And like we got rejected by this area, and we now had a bounce right above this buy zone. So like if we break above here, the setup is invalidated, right? But I do anticipate if we get rejected here again, you know, a rounded retest like this, come down into our buy zone, and then break out, retest, and then continue higher. I would probably take some profits up here, seeing as how this is a very important resistance area. But as soon as we break above here, we should be all good for testing the local highs up here around 10,400. And I actually did put in leverage long on this on Bybit. I'll show you guys this chart right here. So as you can see, I like to chart BTC USD on different exchanges. I chart it on Bybit, I chart it on BTC USDT on Binance, and the main chart I'm looking at is BTC USD on Bitstamp, mainly because it has the longest price history, where I can look at like the major moving averages on the weekly and the monthly, which you can't really find on Bybit or Bitstamp. Alright, so take a look at Bybit. I had my first buy, I think, at 10,051, so 10,051. I got filled on the first buy right here, and I'm looking for a move back down into support here to fill the rest of my bids. Basically, I have about 5 buys inside this area, with the first one being up here that we just dipped down into, and the last one somewhere down in this range down here. So what I'm looking for right now basically is hopefully we'll get some more fills down here, and yeah, I want to take some, like the chart looks a bit different on Bybit, because on BTC USDT on Binance we have like the top up here is like price action is more clearly defined up here. So I want to take full profits up here, but on Bybit we have like these wicks up here, which kind of makes me think I want to take profit here and maybe save some for higher prices. But if we get reacted up here, I think this is the place we're gonna get reacted on Bybit, and this is the place where we will get reacted on Binance. So when charting different exchanges, you have to take into account the wicks, and so the setups looks a little bit different on leverage, because I'm trading leverage on Bybit, and this is basically a spot setup. So that's basically what I'm looking at. We had the bullish cross here with the 21 EMA crossing the 55 EMA to the upside on the 4-hour, and as you can see, last time we did that, we had a pretty good reaction, right? Let's see if we zoom down here. Last time that happened was when we get out of this range here down right before we started this up move to break the weekly downtrend. So we had it up here, we broke it here, but like this kind of looks like a fake out, right? But the price action is very similar up here to how it looked down here and down here, right? So I do think, like, if we can break this area to the upside, and especially if we can break this area to the upside, I think we'll see much higher prices for Bitcoin going forward. I do, however, expect this area to act as heavy resistance. We'll most likely get like a double top and a reversal, short time reversal, a medium time frame reversal. But like I don't really trade how I think what I think is going to happen. I trade what's actually happening, and that's basically the idea here. So when price came down to this support down here, I did think we were going to bounce off the 21 EMA, but like what I think doesn't really matter. So I want to see, like, before I get into Bitcoin, I want to see a confirmed bounce, and for me a confirmed bounce is the daily never closing below the 21 EMA and an actual bullish market structure on the lower time frames, just like we did here. We had a bounce of the 21 EMA, we closed 4 hours above this area, and we are now seeing bullish market structure on the lower time frames, and that indicates strength, right? That indicates strength after bouncing off a very important moving average, which is the 21 EMA on the daily. Now let's go back and look at the daily here. We still have the 200 simple moving average on the daily right here. It haven't really been tested yet, so I would not be surprised to see a double top up here, get rejected, lose this level here, and when we lose this level here, I do expect a move down to the 200 simple right here. And like I said, I don't trade what I think is going to happen, I trade what's going to happen. So right now my outlook on Bitcoin is this. I expect a move like this. Well, I don't expect a move, but if we get a move down here, I want to be a buyer for a move up here. This is heavy resistance, so it would probably be a good idea to flip short here with a stop above this area. And when you see, you know, bearish market structure forming on like the 1 hour, you could go short, you could take profits here again. And if we lose this area, next support is going to be this area, and if we lose this area, I will probably go short on a retest like this. Lose this area, short on a retest, take profit, partial profits here, and full profit on the 200 simple moving average. And if we start seeing bullish market structure on the lower time frames, like the 1 hour or 4 hour, basically a repeat of this price action here. If we see that price action down here, I will go long again, exactly like I did up here, targeting this as first take profit and this as second and final take profit. And that's just how I'm gonna trade, right? Whenever an important support and resistance area breaks to the upside or breaks to the downside, I'm gonna short the retest or long the retest, targeting the first major or minor resistance or support above or below. Hopefully that makes sense. It's a very easy and stress-free way to trade. Basically what I do is I don't really care for, right now when I'm trading like this, I don't really care much for the high time frames. Like, of course I look at the weekly, and looking at the weekly, we are seeing a weekly uptrend. So for me, longs should be in favor here, right? Thanks, man. I got some new lights. Check this out. Yeah. Beautiful. All right, so where were I? Right, so we're actually in a weekly uptrend. This is a weekly downtrend, and this is a weekly uptrend. We close the weekly above this area, which kind of indicates bullish market structure and confirms a break of the bearish market, the weekly downtrend, right? So we're right now in a weekly uptrend, so longs should be in favor, right? But seeing as we are right at very, you know, important and heavy resistance up here, basically this area right here, this area right here is obviously a very strong high time frame resistance. So this is the area that needs to break for a move up here, right? So something like this. Yeah, I'm not really the best at drawing, but you get the idea. And break this to the upside and we'll see a move up here. Break this to the upside and we'll go to the fucking moon, right? So that's basically my idea on Bitcoin. So it feels like I'm just rambling. It feels like I've been talking forever. Hopefully you get the idea on Bitcoin. Let's just look at the active setup right now. before we move on to the alts. As you guys can see here, the 21 EMA crossing the 55 EMA to the upside on the 4-hour matches this support area perfectly, just like the daily 21 EMA on Bitcoin matched this support area perfectly when we had a bounce. So we get a bounce of 21 EMA. I'm hoping we will see a bounce of this bull cross right here, as long as price don't start deviating too much, like too far away from the entry point. The area I'm watching right now, like I said before, is this red box resistance here. Right, so we never really got above here. This wick touched the high of this zone right here, and this wick we got reacted right here. So obviously this is a very important area. Actually, I'm pretty impressed I got this so perfectly mapped out, because it's actually like it's right on here, right on. It kind of looks like it wants to break up here. Hopefully not, because if it does, this setup is invalidated. But yeah, okay, so I've been talking about Bitcoin for way too long now. Let's take a look at a couple of alts. If you guys want me to shout an alt, just write in the chat or tag me in the Discord, and we'll take a look. I'm gonna take a look at my green list here. Oh wow, fuck man, that's way too many. Let's just make a quick overview of my green list. And basically what the green list is potential setups. LSK, all right, the weekly. For LSK, I want to see a retrace here. I want to see a retrace down into the RLC. First we have this support area here, the top of the RLC, the 0.618, the Fibonacci level, right in the middle of this support. So the first support is this one, but ultimately I want to see a move down into the RLC, confluent with this yellow 21 exponential here on the weekly. Looking at the daily, we have the 200 simple down here, not really where I want it to be. We have the 200 EMA right on the RLC right here. So yeah, like setup could look something like this, I guess, with we go long here, first take profit up here. Oh man, it's like 50%. That's crazy. Wow. You could probably have your stops below the 200 EMA right here, but that would be right in the middle of the RLC. You never want to have your stop right in the middle of the RLC, to be honest. Assuming on 4 hour. Let's see where we got, where we have. All right, so we have these wicks down here, probably in that area somewhere. For the 5 hour trade, pretty good. I need to look a bit closer on this one when we actually do come down here. So I'm gonna set a couple of alarms right here for this 1566 sets area to when price comes down here. I want to get some alarms off, and I'm gonna take a look at where is the 200 and 200 EMA and SMA on the 4 hour, where is the 21 EMA on the daily, and where is the 200 EMA and SMA on the daily, and also where do we have the 21 EMA on the weekly. If all those lines up nicely inside this area, I'm definitely going to try out along here. But right now, it kind of feels like we are going to retrace down into the the breakout area around the RLC. RLC, yeah, RLC again. Let's take a look at RLC. Maybe the RLC is pronounced RLZ. No. I like RLC. Let's call it RLC. The reload zone. Let's just call it the reload zone. All right. So where do we have the reload zone on this one? Let's see. Where's the reload zone? Probably way too far down. Yeah. All right. So RLC BTC is actually holding the 21 EMA on the weekly nicely, and the 55 EMA on the weekly. So if we have actually, no, I don't like this. Nope. I'll remove that one. I don't like it. ICX BTC. So I have a setup here. Why do I have a setup? All right, so look at this. This is looking pretty good, actually. This is looking very good. Do we have a setup in the making here? I think we do. I think we do. I think we do. The stop loss placement is pretty bad. Let's see where we have the Williams fractal. We probably have it down here on the daily. All right, so we should have one here. That's weird. The 4 hour, like this area for my stop. Let's move that one down here. So where do we have the 21 EM and the weekly? Wow, all the way down here. So obviously, if we get stopped out here, could anticipate a break, move down to the breakout area down here. Let's look at the daily. So the daily is looking very nice here, actually. We had this beautiful pump here. Beautiful pump here, retrace, and we are now about to reclaim support here, and I just anticipate a move like this. So maybe we have a setup in play here. So the most obvious way to play this, like especially now with Bitcoin looking, I don't know how to explain it, weird, I guess. Bitcoin is looking indecisive. I think it's a better word. Yeah. Bitcoin is looking indecisive. And because of the fact that Bitcoin I don't really know what Bitcoin is going to do. We had this massive drop here. Well, not massive drop. Over exaggerating. It's 10% move. So we had a 10% retrace here, just like we had here and here. So if we range here for a while and maybe slow bleed, we'll probably see alts perform pretty well, and ICX could definitely be one of the top performers. We have a somewhere around the 40% move here in the making, so this looks pretty good. So what I need to see for this setup to become valid is either, like, it all depends on your, like, what type of level of confirmation you want to see. And for me personally, when the general alt market is looking generally bearish, I want to see a daily open and close above this area before I enter, right? So before I enter, I want to see a daily open and close here with a rounded retest by the first retest of support for a move higher. Take profit at the first trouble area, which probably is the EQ of this candle right here. Kind of looks like it. So let's look at 4 hour. Yeah, so somewhere in this region, I would take some profits. And when the alt market is looking generally bullish, I'm okay with going long when we have a 4 hour close above. Preferably, I would like to see a 4 hour open and close above. So on this particular setup, I think I'm gonna wait for I don't know. Yeah, probably I'm gonna wait for the daily open, the daily close. I want to see this candle close above this area, and then that's like my signal to enter. All right, so I'm gonna save this one. I'm gonna if price action is looking good later today, I'm probably gonna post a setup on icon because I kind of quite like it. It looks pretty good. Okay, so we had a guy in the chat wanted to take a look at XRP BTC. So let's take a look at XRP BTC. All right, this is looking really good actually. On the daily, we had a successful retest of the 200 simple, this white line, and the 21 EMA is just about to cross the 200 simple to the upside. So what I would like to see here for XRP BTC is bullish market structure on the lower time frames. So let's see, where do we have the weekly open? All right, so the weekly open is right here. Let's see, 29.49. 29.49 weekly open right here. So I would like to see reclaim as a weekly open. You could probably use the weekly open. Like I like how this level here, like how price reacts to the weekly open here, and also in this general area. So I would like to see, to confirm this bounce down here, I would like to see a reclaim of the weekly open with a 4-hour open and close above. When we get a 4-hour open and close above, oh, my camera is shut up. Wait. All right. So when we get a 4-hour open and close above this area, I would probably look at something like this. Not really sure where I should place my stop here, because you have these wicks down here. Maybe in this general area down here, around this, somewhere in this area, and buy area would probably be somewhere in this region. For an average entry here, stops somewhere. Yeah, I want to be like, I want to have my stop below this area, this area, this area, and this area, and this wick. So probably somewhere around here. That's still a good, access, still a good 4R. First take profit, I would probably be around 3,100 sats, and second take profit would be up here, the EQ of this bearish order block right here. And as you can see, we got reacted right on this block, on this last move up, and if we break this area to the upside, I would look for a daily open and close above. Actually, 200 EMA is right here on the daily. I would probably take profit. Like, it would be pretty obvious to have a bounce of this 21 EMA, 200 simple, for a move up to the 200 EMA here, this purple line. So yeah, setup would probably look something like this. Still decent RR. Alright, so let's take a look at yeah, so 2980. Let's see where you entered. 2980. Yeah, so that's obviously not the best area to enter. 2980. All right, so like when you FOMO into a trade, you're always gonna, like, that's basically, you know, asking to lose money. Like, it's better to wait for confirmation. Like, if you had this level here, so you actually entered here, right? And where you entered, we have a pretty decent SR level. So the best thing to do in your situation right then would be to maybe wait for a daily close above at least, or a 4-hour open and close. Actually, you actually did get a 4-hour open and close. But what I like to see when you have a 4-hour open and close is a rounded retest without any wicks touching the support in between the tests, like the break in the first retest. So that's XRP. Let's take a look at REN. REN BTC. So the plan was today to do a 30-minute stream, and we're already at 30 minutes, so I'm just gonna do REN BTC, and if you guys have any other requests, please type them in the chats, and I'll take a look for you. So REN BTC, let's first take a look at the daily. All right, so I mean, this is looking decent, I guess. I would like to see In a couple of days, we might see the 21 EMA cross the 200 simple to the upside, which is a pretty good, bullish signal. We have the 21 EMA here, down here, the 200 EMA, sorry, this purple line. So the 200 EMA here, the 21 EMA have just crossed the 200 EMA to the upside, which looks pretty bullish. I do like looking at this right now. I would not be surprised to see a move down here to this area. And what I would like to see is bullish market structure on the lower time frames. I would not want to buy right here because it's not looking very good. We don't really have a rounded retest without any wicks touching the 200 SMA here. So price action is not really clean. If we had a rounded retest here, I would probably buy the retest on REN, but right now I want to see bullish market structure on the 4 hour or the 1 hour, well, preferably on the 4 hour. So we are pretty much in a 4 hour uptrend. We have started making lower highs here. If we make a lower low. All right, so basically looking at this, we need to reclaim this area. All right. So we actually have the weekly open up here. Yeah, I can't really decide how I would play this, to be honest. I need to take a closer look in the high time frames. Like the problem is if I don't find a setup like in the first 2 minutes of watching a chart, I'm probably not gonna buy it. Like my type of setups needs to be very obvious, right? We did have a rounded retest on a 200 EMA here, so I would probably not buy the second retest. I want to see REN show some, signs of strength here. So I would like to see a reclaim to weekly open. So I like to see a move up, about a 10% move up. I'd like to see a 4 hour daily, 4 hour open and close above the weekly open. When we have a 4 hour open and close above the weekly open, I would long a retest, giving me a average entry around 637 sets. Where would I place my stop loss? Probably below, depending on the price action. When we actually do reclaim this area, I would probably have to place my stop loss below the 200 simple or the 21 EMA, but it all depends on where those two are at the moment of the retest. I mean, could also, yeah, I can't really decide on a stop loss placement right now. I have to watch the price action when we actually get the reclaim up here. So where would I take profits? Obviously, the first take profit would be somewhere in this region here. Probably here, because you have this high here, this here, and this here, and this bounce here. So that's the first trouble area, the first major trouble area. That's where I would take some profits. Second take profit. So the first take profit is around 700 sets. The second take profit would be around 800 sets, around this high up here. All right, so that's REN BTC. Let's take a look at Storm. I've actually looked at Storm a lot these last couple of days because I think it's looking really good. All right, so here we have Storm. Started working on the setup here. All right, so we lost the 200 simple, so this setup is invalidated, right? I want to see the 200 simple really needs to hold, right, for me to be bullish on this. I mean, it's looking really, really good on the higher time frames. We have a potential weekly W here. So first of all, what I like to see is a weekly close above the 21 EMA, this yellow line. And the 21 EMA is pretty much, I think, in the same area as, yeah, so it's very close to the daily 200 SMA here. The real action starts when we break out of this weekly W formation, with the 200 EMA being confluent with the neckline of the weekly W. So the real action probably happens when we break this area, but that's a pretty big move up, right? That's a 45% move. So you could probably, like, if we close above, the 21 EMA on the weekly, you could probably long a retest to finish this weekly W pattern. But like, the real action starts when we break this area to the upside, the 22 sats area. If that happens, I would look at a move towards first this area, and then secondly this area up here. So a very nice, it's like a 70% move, and then we have like 250% moves. That's crazy, you know, potential for a storm, but we really need to see, you know, bullish market structure. And right now we're in the weekly downtrend. If we start making higher highs by closing, like making higher highs up here on the weekly, we start seeing like bullish market structure on the weekly, and that's a very good indication of price action to come, right? All right, so that's it. Just a quick live stream for you guys. Well, not really quick. I've been here for almost 40 minutes. All right, so I think I'm done for today, and if you guys have any requests or any other questions, just hit me up in the Discord. Alright, so take care guys, and see you next time.